What's up, everybody? It's Bashe Williams, and I'm back. Today I want to talk about celibacy and the reason why I chose and I'm choosing celibacy. This has been a struggle. I'm not going to be fake about it. I'm going to be totally real. This has been an on and off thing for I don't know how long. Just saying that, hey, I'm going to be celibate. Hey, I'm going to be abstinent. I started a Facebook group a couple years ago and then got in a relationship, and that whole celibacy thing went out the window. I just took myself out of my own group that I started. But I just want to give you a little background about it and why I'm choosing it, and also just to give some feedback on the things I need to do or that I did in order for me to remain celibate. Clearly, I've had sex before. I have an 11-year-old son, but that wasn't the first time I had sex. It wasn't like first time I have sex, now I have a son. No. Fast forward to where things are right now. I'm choosing it because it's the right thing to do for me with my relationship with God. I'm going to get into the whole biblically, gospel, or religious reasons why later. But now I want to talk about the basics. For me, just having sex in relationships or just casually just never really ended well. And it wasn't because the sex was bad, it's because, I got tired of hearing, let's use sex as an apology. We're in an argument, we have sex, we make up. But that's when the apology comes, or the apology comes after having sex. I just had to change my whole lifestyle. For a while, I couldn't be in a relationship because being in a relationship, those expectations are there. And I've been in relationships before where we started out having sex and then I would get, somewhere in the middle and say, hey, let's live right, and stop having sex and develop the relationship. It's kind of backwards, right? And I also had the idea of, being in a relationship with someone and then stopping for the year of engagement. Whatever the engagement period is, let's stop having sex then and then see if we really want to get married. The backwards thinking, because I had sex in front of everything, it just wasn't working. I've had bad experiences where, again, women will say, well, I gave you my body. Despite all the other things that happened, whether the relationship was bad because of me, because of them, because of us, just two people who do not need to be together, but we're together and we're having sex, and all of a sudden, now, when things are starting to break up, the woman says to me, but I gave you my body. I gave you mine too. It's not an excuse, but that was one of the reasons why I said, hey, I'm not going to have sex anymore. Another thing is, I didn't want to have these situationships or these arrangements or these booty calls where, just a random night I feel lonely and just say, hey, what's up, why don't you come over, let's hang out, and then you gotta leave in the morning or you gotta leave after. Like that emotional, that soul tie that you're creating with that person, and eventually somebody's going to catch feelings. Like I've heard people say before, oh, let's just make this arrangement and no feelings attached. When I need some, I'm gonna call you. When you need something, you call me, but you can't do it with anybody else. So we're not having the parameters of a relationship outside of sex. But everything is like a relationship, but we're just having sex. Those things never really worked for me. I remember specifically when I had this woman who said that she could do that. Now I was coming out of a relationship, so I wasn't looking to have anything serious. And she said, well, let's just have a sexual thing. And I said, I don't believe that people can actually do that. I'm not gonna lie, I said, I don't believe women can actually do that. I think they're too emotional, and I don't think that will work. She was like, no, trust me, I can do it. I've done it before. I'm a different type of woman. I'm a grown woman. I did this, I'm blah, 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 whatever. So I said, all right, okay. I want to be emotionally detached from anything right now. Bad breakup, emotionally attached, but I still want my sexual desires fulfilled. So I said, okay, let's do it. Got together, hooked up the next day. You know what? I was thinking about that. I don't want to put myself out there like that. I don't want to just be having sex. I'm older now. Like, let's move forward. And I'm just like, this is exactly what I was talking about. And maybe that's not the case for other people, but I truly believe that if you're able to give your body away without having any emotional attachment, then there's something going wrong. There's something going on. How do you get to a point where you're able to just have sex without emotion, have sex without attachment? Something had to happen for you to separate the two, to give yourself to someone and not have an emotional state, or fight the emotion so you can protect yourself from being hurt. So there's something going on there, and there's something was going on with me too. I didn't want the emotional attachment. I just wanted to feel good. So that was another reason why I stopped. It's just been bad. It's just, I wouldn't say anything has been, well, there has been some crazy situations. So even a situation where I had, I guess, a arrangement with this woman, and everything was going fine. I thought I was, out of it emotionally. We would hook up maybe once a week, twice a week, or whatever, and that was good for me. And she said to me that although the sex is great, I have no problems with it. I just think you need more. I just think you want more. And at the time, I was like, "What she talking about?" Like, I'm good with the situation. Like, I'm good with our arrangements. I don't have to worry about nothing. And at the same time, I was ignoring the guilt that I had, because I knew the relationship wasn't going anywhere. I knew I wanted more than just sex, but I was just, pretending like I didn't. Like, for me, I feel like I've had enough sex, that I do want more. I want I want to experience sex within a marriage. I can honestly say that I wish I would have waited. I'd feel like I'm not really missing out on something or anything if I would have waited. I probably would be in a different position. I probably wouldn't have had, the relationships that I had that start off with sex. Right now, I'm at the point in my life where I don't want sex to have to leave. And what do I mean by that? I don't want sex to have to leave in the morning. I don't want to have sex have to leave, whenever my son comes home. I don't want to have to sneak and have sex and then it goes somewhere. I don't want to have those conversations of trying to figure out a reason for them to leave. I want to be married, and I want to be doing it the right way. There's been numerous times where I've had sex and everything is good. Like, there's so much going on right now in the world that I just don't want to have just casual sex. I just don't want to have a relationship that's based on sex. Again, I don't want to have a relationship where sex is the apology. I mean, there's so many different reasons. I felt like I had so much to say before I sat in front of the camera, but now I can't remember everything I said. But I just know that I'm in a place where I don't want to just be having sex without marriage. And I understand it's a lifestyle. Like, I've done it a couple times where I said, okay, I'm going to be celibate, and failed miserably, and then started all over. Like, I'm tired of starting over. I'm tired of saying, okay, let me just start over tomorrow. Or, I used to psych myself out. Well, I used to think I was psyching myself out. I used to say stuff to myself like, this is okay to have sex with her because this is who I'm going to marry. Just stuff like that. It was like, and just making excuses for it. Like, I used to overthink it. I used to, get in my head about it emotionally, knowing I don't want to be with this person, but I'm just going to have sex, so we just have our situation. Just these sexual relationships where, you're almost playing with somebody's emotion. You're also playing with your emotion as well. Like, you like them, or they like you, and it's not going anywhere, but you're continuing to lay down with them. And even if you tell them, look, I'm not looking for anything, but y'all still are having sex, you're still going to have that conversation eventually down the line. Even if you say in the beginning, I told you what it is, that still doesn't take away that you're doing everything that a married couple should be doing or will be doing. Like, we're pretending that we have this relationship, I'm entering into someone and then leaving, and then, I'm giving them part of me and expecting them to let it go once we're done. Like, that moment of intimacy ends the moment we stop having sex, the moment we start to put our clothes on or jump in a shower or whatever. So I just got tired of doing it. I just got tired of those, I don't want to say pointless relationship, but I don't have any complaints about, the sex itself. I just want more. I just want to wait for marriage. I wrote an article about it talking about how I love sex, but I love sex. So the love is before sex. Again, I want to be in love. I want to be married. I want to do it the right way. And I say the right way is because, again, I don't want sex to get up and leave in the morning. I want sex to stay. I want to develop that relationship before laying down with someone. And I want us to have that strong relationship where